That's right. This is another video. Welcome back to Mistakes and Mixtakes. Mistakes? Mixtapes and mistakes. We do a lot of that here, making mistakes. This is once again another thing in the personal playlist. This is the playlist for Kasey Rainwater. So, one of the things I wanted to highlight on these playlists is that I try to do playlists that do a good job of describing the people that the playlists are about. And Kasey, in her own way, is a lot of a throwback. She has a lot of old school values in a lot of ways. And I say this, and I guess it sounds old, because I'm old. So in the 80s, there seemed to be a premium on that when you made a friend, you made a friend. It wasn't like today where there's superficial internet friendships. Like you meet somebody online and you like the meme they did, or they said something funny on Twitter and you just followed them. There's a lot of, I know them online. And so you'll see somebody in the comment section, you'll follow them because you like the comments, but it's a far cry from actually meeting somebody and knowing them and, having adventures. It's a far cry from that. So what I'm reminded of when I think about Kasey is that she has a lot of personal inner strength that shows not only in her friends but her family. She had two amazing parents who instilled in her the values of loyalty and self-reliance and just not taking crap off anybody, which I always thought was a great quality. But one of the things that she's always been known for, I think that her family, when I think about her mom and dad, were always kind of known for, is really giving time to people. It really is kind of the more I think about it now with everything that's been happening lately, that time really is your greatest commodity as a person. That's why when we were younger, you're like, oh, you should probably find a job that you like doing because you're going to be doing it a bunch. Or they tell you to get a really comfy bed because you spend a third of your life in it. And you don't think about those things when you're 15 or you're 20, and you don't think about having a friend of yours that you've known from the 8th grade, on. And so what you end up finding out is that when you get older, that the friends you knew in elementary school or middle school or high school, and if you've been able to maintain those friendships, there's a lot of shared culture and shared ideals and idealism that happens amongst that. And I really think that's kind of a lost art, really. It is in a lot of ways like gold dust. That kind of that you can't hold on to it. It's ephemeral. And some of these songs are ephemeral in a lot of ways. Yes, right? My English teachers would be really happy about me using another 50-cent word in a random video. So, Gold Dust is on here, but it's a Fleetwood Mac song. But what I picked I do some research on these songs. I actually do some work for these playlists. And I had found out that Bob Welch, Grateful Dead Bob Welch, if I'm not mistaken, became kind of an integral part of Fleetwood Mac between the Peter Green era, which is the Black Magic Woman, like super jazzy era, and the real Rumors tour de force, like Buckingham Nicks situation. Welch is kind of the guitarist who kind of bridged that gap. So I found this kind of rare video of that version of Fleetwood, most of that version of Fleetwood Mac playing, because it almost never happened, of Stevie Nicks and Bob Welch and Mick Fleetwood and Christine McVie doing Gold Dust Woman. Like, and that's one of the things that I can say I loved about the 70s, 80s, looking back. More so the 80s as far as being able to actually see stuff or actually witness some of these things happen, is the amount of just live collaborations that happened, or collaborations in general. Like, now it's this big deal if somebody puts a beat on a record. Back in the day, if you could get, two people on stage that had never been on, that you wouldn't think even knew each other on stage, you're like, well, that happened? And so that's kind of that performance, and it's this, you can see, and it's one of those things I think about too when I think about Fleetwood Mac. A lot of times when you watch their live performances, you can definitely see when what relationship was happening. And there's this definite, if you watch the video or not, just play the songs, this is one of those videos I would watch, because you can plainly see that Mick Fleetwood and Stevie Nicks have something going on. And I'd heard the story about their affair, but just to see any kind of, as a fan, just seeing the evidence of it's always kind of like, whoa, that really happened. And this is probably the only playlist where I have, I think, double songs on it, which I'm not going to spoil. Always like people, I try to talk about some of the songs, so I don't really like spoiling the whole thing. But I think this is going to be it's a good playlist, because there's a lot of good mid-80s, there's at least one good mid-80s ballad on here. And there's kind of a newer school ballad, so I think it's a good mix. And I think it's a good reflection of the person that the list is for. So that's the goal. That's what we're trying to do here, is give people their flowers while we're all still here. To let people know that you care about them, that you appreciate them, and that your life probably wouldn't be as much of what it is without them. And so that's my sentiment on this and all the. If I don't say it in every video, what I want to say is that I love and adore and care for everybody that I make a video for, because I probably really wouldn't be the person I am, or even in sometimes when I used to think about it, like, I might not even be here for some of the adventures I've been on without some of the people in my life. So I really want to just kind of tell those people that I care about them, and thank you in a lot of cases, because Lord knows that I probably would, been side of the road somewhere, lost, with no GPS, without half of you. So that's this playlist. We're gonna keep doing them. Let me know what you think about. What songs would you have added to this playlist, to the overall theme of this list? What songs you take away? And we'll keep doing these, because I like doing them. So thanks. See you on the flip side.